The ACT Party is accusing the government of torturing Kiwis with uncertainty after it drew a question mark over the January 17 date to open the border.
Kiwis overseas are nervous they might not be able to get back, and the already decimated tourism sector is worried it could stop tourists from visiting. Political reporter Amelia Wade has more.
Zooms certainly defined these COVID times. Stuck in London, Alexandra Burt used it to stay in touch.
Can you wave, Alex?
Now stuck in MIQ, she used it to join others battling the border. They presented her petition calling for a fairer system with more certainty.
Devastating, depressing, dehumanising.
I think it's disgusting. I think people get really angry.
You feel rejected by your country, basically.
It's just stupid. It really is.
Frustration rising that the government's no longer guaranteeing the border will creak open on January 17 to fully vaxxed Kiwis coming from Oz. Instead, there's now a January 7 check-in, so the government is certain it's safe.
We can't discount the possibility that Omicron could prove to be a spanner in the works.
ACT leader David Seymour very certain about one thing.
What people are now being subjected to is constant uncertainty that verges on a form of torture.
The Prime Minister unsure about that.
It makes good sense for us to take into account what the evidence tells us and do a check-in before we continue on with our reconnection plans.
And plans to get tourists back exploring our backyard now also uncertain.
The only certainty about 2022 is there'll be more uncertainty.
Not helped by the Minister.
And I did say to the industry that I wasn't prepared to give them the date, so if they were looking for a date, then they weren't going to get one.
According to the latest statistics, since COVID, a third of the industry have lost or left their jobs. That's 72,000 people, the entire population of Palmerston North. And international visitor spending has plummeted from 17.5 billion to just 1.5 billion, a drop of 91.5%.
The 7-day isolation requirement is the single biggest block to the recovery of tourism.
The Minister not even certain when that'll be dropped.
Do you see that happening next year?
It's like, I would like to think so.
Like to think so. Perhaps not quite the certainty so many need.
So, Amelia, what happens if the government does push out the border reopening date?
Mel, with all this uncertainty, the COVID response minister says there is work underway on contingencies. He's light on details, but we understand that could mean returnees isolating for the full 14 days rather than the 7. The Beehive seems very determined on keeping that mid-Jan promise, but it wanted to give itself some wriggle room just in case Omicron really becomes cause for concern.
Amelia Wade, tēnā koe.